of Arts in Political Science from the University of Mindanao, District Mathematics Coordinator, Math Module Editor Member, Virtual Screener for the demo lesson of Teaching Applicants 2021, and a Master Teacher 1 of Lower Tamugan Elementary School. Please help me welcome Ma'am Maria Teresa T. Binghay. Ma'am, good morning.
Yes, good morning to all the attendees of General Rojas District. So ako na ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning sa lahat. How are you
Good
today, mga
morning.
new breed of generals? I'm sure ang iba nagsasort ng module, ang iba nagsasort ng papel, ang iba naman ay anong ginagawa? Job related, I guess. Ang iba ay napapagaling after their booster shot siguro. I know kung ilan tayo dito sa virtual room. Ma'am, ilan tayo lahat? We're supposed to be 27, right? I guess there are apat ata or lima na wala pa
Yes,
naka.
22.
How many are present, ma'am?
22 po, ma'am.
22 out of 27.
Yes.
Are they coming po?
Yung iba po, ma'am, is excuse. Ang iba naman po is maghahabol lang po sila.
Okay. Would you mind me asking why they are excused?
Ginagawa po sila, ma'am, na sa ADM po, may mga webinars po sila, ma'am.
Are we having the ADM is still having their webinar today?
Yes po, ma'am. Actually po, ma'am, isa po ako sa coordinator and nag-ask po ako ng permission to excuse.
Okay. Anyway, this is, I guess, a modular thing. So, kung wala siguro sila dito, they can make habol-habol na lang with output. But then, I was expecting a 100% participation and attendance po. Okay. So, as I've said, good morning, generals. Ang tawag sa mga taga-General Rojas District ay generals. So, I hope okay lang ang lahat, bisag na kalintura, kay kuan naman, mura ba og last minute na ni na nagahabol ta sa modules, no? Before we knew it, na wala na, fourth quarter na, so mag-graduation na mo. Okay. So, ang sabi mo kanina, ano yung sinabi mo, ma'am, to introduce me by Brent, ayun lang magtuo kayo, anak po, no? Today, I am tasked to share with you my knowledge on explicit teaching, that is Module 4, Session 2. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, explicit teaching. So, this is a session after Sir Rupert, no? Isa sa mga magaling nating master teacher on teaching strategies. Okay, so explicit teaching is taken from Module 4. Okay. So, I am Maria Teresa Binghay, Master Teacher 1 of Lower Tamugan Elementary School. Okay, so the desired learning outcomes for this session, as you can see on my presentation, the learning or the desired learning outcomes, domain 1, that is under the content knowledge and pedagogy. Take a look at domain 1, asa man siya gikan. So, by the way, before I proceed, who among you have already 1 year in service at DepEd? Isa na yung nakahuman o isa ka school year? Rachel, kinsa pa? How about the others? Mga bagong tanan? Wala pa mo nag 1 year. Murag dili guro kay last year wala may TIP. So nag-abot tong nag 1 year na ug ang mga newly hired pag yun. Okay. So segue lang nako gamay. The main one which is on content knowledge and pedagogy. Okay. That plays a very vital role in our teaching career because appeal na siya sa atong RPMS that is under the MOF or Major Final Output KRA1, and that is Content Knowledge and Pedagogy. Excuse me. So, the desired learning outcome 1.2.1 demonstrate and understand the research-based knowledge and principle of teaching and learning. And second, you have use research-based knowledge and principle of teaching and learning to enhance professional practice. Okay. So, the session is very important kay magtudlo man siya ta. So, kailangan nato ng explicit teaching mo ni ang ato ang kumbaga weapon when we deliver our CO or classroom observation. Kay aron mas kanang mapakusga nato, explicit teaching ang atong gamiton kay we are under control of the situation that would arise in every classroom endeavor nato or engagement. Okay. So makita po ni nato siya si content knowledge and pedagogy on our individual performance commitment and review form or the IPCRF. So somehow na-orient na mo ani sa inyong mga school heads. Okay. So what is the objective of the session itself? So the session would explain the research-based topics, basic concept, principles, and methodologies of explicit teaching, demonstrate understanding of explicit teaching process, and develop and demonstrate a detailed lesson plan. Take note of letter B. You are going to develop a detailed lesson plan using explicit teaching. So, how mo ani basta ka ng mga fresh pa kaayo, no, less than 5 years in service, how pa sila mohimo ani. So, with katong mga season na nga teacher pod. Okay. So, that's it. That is the session objective. Okay. Now, we will have the pre-test. So, get ready with your... Prepare a paper, a pen, or a pencil, and let's have some fun. So, you are going to identify whether the given statements are true or not on explicit typo teaching. Write F for fact and B for bluff. So, number your paper from 1 to 10. Okay. By the way, if you have questions, you can write it on the chat box. No? Di ko yung nalakateki, pero idara na biya ko, pero maningkamot lang po. Okay, so that is my instruction. I want you to be participative, even though you are loaded with other related tasks for today. So, I'm expecting, dili ko mo presume, but I am expecting that when I call your name, you can read and answer the question. For those who are having their paper and pen, sulat pod mo para makabalot ta tama ba inyong answer or dili. Number 1, are you all set or are you ready? Ready na mo? O basig ako nalay tao diri. Okay, number 1, may I call on? Call in or call on? May I call on Ma'am Arian Lamuste of Kabagbahangan. Please read number one, ma'am, and share your answer.
In explicit teaching, there is a need for a teacher to model the behavior to the student. I think it's fact po.
Back. Let's try. Okay, very good.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
Morning. The answer is fact. Let's proceed to question number two. Requesting Ma'am Cecilia Dora of Pangyan to please read and answer. Pangyan, Ma'am Bayanban?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Number
morning.
two, teachers should be specific and direct enough to make learning accessible to all students in the class.
Yes, ma'am. Your answer, please. Ma'am.
The answer number two is fact.
Okay, let's try to check if it's a fact or a bluff.
True,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, it's a fact. Let's proceed to the next. Number three, from Lamanan. Ma'am Apple, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes,
In
ma'am. Good morning.
explicit teaching, the students restate the lesson objectives back to the teacher in their own words.
Yes, what's the answer po?
Fact, ma'am.
Okay, let's try to check if it's a fact. Yes, absolutely, it's a fact. Okay, number four. Calling on Sir Philip Mondehar. Please read number four and answer.
Okay. Morning, ma'am. The teacher presents the steps both orally and visually to meet needs of learners. Fact po, ma'am.
Very good. Okay, the answer is fact. So the teacher will present it both orally and visually. Let's try number five. Kebaton, Maricar Villarobe. Please read the question po.
Good morning, ma'am. The
Yes,
teacher explains what the task is, why is it important, and add to why it is done.
okay,
Fact
what's
po,
the
ma'am.
fact? Okay, the answer is fact. Let's go further to number six. Sir Efren from Unapan. Sir, are you with us virtually? Hello, Sir Efren. Wala si Sir. Okay, let's try another one. How about Mama Rejoy de la Torre of Kanakan? Wala po. Bro, kung may isa na nag-oral recitation, okay lang. Okay, let's try on Sir Alexis Subo. Sir, please read number six.
Okay, number six, the teacher may use a visual model to demonstrate a concept being taught when necessary.
Okay, what's the answer po?
Fact, ma'am.
Fact. Okay. Let's try to answer. No, it's a bluff. Okay, everybody, pay attention um to what's on your screen. The question says the teacher will use a visual model to demonstrate a concept being taught when necessary. So, why do you think it's a bluff? So, it's a bluff because of the condition when necessary. Yan ang naging mali dyan. Ang when, the word when necessary. Okay. Let's try number seven. Let's call on Annie Rose Gokotano, ma'am. Please read number 7 po.
Okay po, ma'am. Explicit teaching is teacher-centered. Bluff po, ma'am.
Is it a bluff? Okay, it's very obvious, no? Bakit naging teacher-centered siya? It should be a learner-centered. So, let's check the terms. Before, student ang tawag natin. Then later on, nag-develop into pupil. Then, ngayon na naman, learner. For the next generations to come, I don't know how are we going to address our learners. Okay, let's have number 8. Let's try the host, Ma'am J. Marie.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Students practice different kinds of problems during the guided practice. Me.
Okay, what's the answer, ma'am? Mahina ho yung audio niyo.
Students practice different kinds of problems during the guided practice. Me.
Okay.
Love po.
Bluff. Okay, the answer is bluff. Okay, so another one. Second item before it ends. Number 9, let's try Ma'am Hanilyn De La Torre of Masicampo ES. Ma'am, please read.
Good morning, ma'am. Number 9. Students are deprived of keying or completing the task independently.
Sorry. Naman ko'y kudigugod po diri. Number 9, that is working pala yan. Typo. So,
Ah,
students are deprived of working or completing the task
of
independently.
working
Yeah, working yan siya.
independently.
Okay, what's
Fact, ma'am.
that? Are deprived of working or completing the task independently.
Bluff.
Oh, very
Bluff,
good.
ma'am, sorry.
Let's try to see if it's a bluff. Yes, it's a bluff. Because of the word deprived. No? So,
Deprived.
may mga
Yes,
bagay siya na let's mga clue kung bakit tama or mali. And the last item yan. Balik tayo. Number 10. Okay, the lucky one is Miss Armada of Tagbao.
Number 10, the assessment of student performance in explicit teaching must be done formally. Fact po,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes. Fact. Okay, the answer is bluff. So the statement says the assessment of student performance in explicit teaching must be done formally. Ang nakamali diri is the word formally. Okay, so that ends up our pretest. How did you find the activity for your pretest? Perfect ba ang tanan? Ha? Perfect ba? O not so? Anyway, pretest pa man na. Abot sa anang post-test ani ang how did she? Okay. Now, let's proceed with the glossary of terms. So to guide us to have a deeper meaning and understanding of the session, we will be using Unguided by the glossary of terms. Okay, so explicit instruction. So, diri nato makita ang definition sa explicit instruction. And some of it were used in the pretest. Okay, the instruction that is symmetric. So what do we mean by symmetry? Siya din ha. It's direct, it's engaging, and success-oriented. It is helpful not only when discovery is impossible, but when discovery may be inaccurate, inadequate, incomplete, or inefficient. Okay, that is explicit instruction. Model. Model. What do you mean by model? Anyone who can read? What is model? Let's try Ma'am Lagamayo of Dominga. Let's try Ma'am Armada instead. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, model method that helps make connections between material to be learned and the process to learn it by acting out sequences while students observe and then imitate the task. The hallmark of explicit instruction is a clear model of what students are expected to learn. This refers modeling as establishing conspicuous strategies.
Okay, very well said. No? Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, let's try another one. Scaffolding. Scaffolding, it's a very familiar word used in the Build program of the President of the Philippines. But why is it ginagamit natin sa explicit instruction? Okay, sino pa yung nag-raise ng hand kanina? Rachel Rebelia, go. Ma'am Rachel? Hello, Ma'am Rachel.
Ma'am Tet, madungog ko?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Scaffolding. Applying stages to learning content add tasks by first observing the student to see what she can do and then helping her understand the how and why until she can perform herself. Direct instruction, tutoring, modeling, independence.
Okay, those terms are synonymous to scaffolding. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. My mentee, of course, for having read on screen. Let's try another one. Skills. Okay, skills. What do we refer to as skills? Ako na rin mabasa. It's the ability to carry out a task with a predetermined results within a given amount of time, energy, or both. Okay? Bakit kaya kinoconsider natin yung time, energy, or both? Okay? So that is skills. Strategy. You have been bombarded with a lot of teaching strategies. No? Pag eskwela ninyo, dili mo ka-graduate kung wala mo tamukan o daghan kaayo nga strategy. But sad to say, ang nasa ako na-assign is the explicit teaching. So, when we say strategy, unsa man siya? Ma'am Recarce of Saloy, my hometown. Please read, ma'am. Ma'am Recarce, are you still on the virtual room? Wala siya. Okay, let's have Ma'am Lamuste.
Strategy, overall or general design on how the lesson will be executed or delivered, a set of decisions on what learning activities to achieve an objective.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your participation, ma'am. Okay, so what is the key concept of explicit instruction? Okay, so the key concept, students are guided through the learning process with clear statements about the purpose and rationale for learning the new skill. So, in explicit instruction, ang mga bata or ang mga estudyante are guided with the learning process. Clear ang statement about the purpose, no? So they should know the purpose of the concept being taught and the rationale for learning the new skill. It should also provide a clear explanation and development of the instructional target. Unsa man ang ending aning tanan, no? So, in explicit instruction, we are curriculum-based. What curriculum do we use as of this time? May I know kung alam nyo? What curriculum po tayo mga ma'am and sir?
8 to 12, Ma'am Tet.
8 to 12? Yeah, K to 12. But for now, we are using the MELCs. No? We are still under the K to 12 curriculum. Wala na si Beck, wala na si Arbeck. K to 12, and our guide in crafting our lessons is based on the MELCs. Ang module ba saan naka-base? Module natin is based on the MELCs, no? M-E-L-C. Okay. So, explicit instruction also provides a supported practice with feedback until independent mastery has been achieved. Okay. So, what's the most significant word here is supported practice. Who will support the learner now in the explicit instruction? When or who will support the learner? It could be the teacher. Basically, it is the role of the teacher to provide support to the learner until magiging independent na ang bata to learn the skill na nag-develop. Okay. So, explicit instruction, it was Lev Vygotsky who developed the scaffolding theory. So, siya gid ana ang author. Na-met na ninyo siya sa inyong pag-eskwela. Diba? Okay. This time, we will have a digital group activity. You will be grouped accordingly. No? Then, you are going to discuss among your group members the assigned component of explicit instruction. Each of you has your own copy of the module, right? Tama ba ako?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, na may kopya kayo ng modules. I am going to assign you with a particular component per group. Present your output to the group after 10 minutes by your assigned presenter. So each group will have their own presenter. No? Magsabot mo interaction. You need not to leave the platform. Pwede ra mo mag-GC. It could be orally kung mubo lang. It could also be through a presentation. Pwedeng gawa ng slide. If you are capable, kay para ingon mo nga, demanding ra pagkaayo ko, no? Ma-stress niya mo. Bawal ma-stress sa buhay ngayong mga panahon na ito. Okay, so I already have grouped you according to my choice. Bitaw. So please refer to the following for your group. Setting the stage, that is the first component of explicit teaching. The group members are as follows. Makita ba ninyo mga ma'am and sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, screenshot. Abtik man kay mo screenshot, no? O wala nag-pandemic, dili ko mahawd-hawd anang screenshot. Okay, so okay na, group 1. Present ba ni tanan? Will somebody comment please kung present din group 1? Si Subo, humana man na siya, nadunggan na nako na siya. I have my kodigo here guys, so walang takas talaga ito. Okay na, group 1. Sino yung narinig ko? Si ma'am. Naman ni present man ni sila tanalamanan. Who is at the division office. So, okay na, group 1. That's group 1. Your component is setting the stage. Okay. Next group, we have opening ang grupo nila. During the attendance and for the pre-test, they have shown their active participation. So explaining to students what to do. This is group 2. Okay na ito, group 2.
Yes, ma'am. Noted, ma'am.
Okay, copy. Let's proceed to group 3, modeling for students. We have Mambayanban, Toroja, Bibat, Arconado, and Villarobe. Let's group 3, modeling for students. Okay na ito? Group 3. Okay, I'll proceed to
Yes.
group 4. To group 4. Is Ma'am Lesnaya around? Ma'am Kuping, are you with us? Okay,
Wala
next.
siya, ma'am.
Wala siya. Nakita na ako to ng sulod ganina ba? Okay, guided practice. That is for group 1, 2, 3. Group 4. Okay, yan ang group members. As you can see, there are only 4 kasi mugbo na, na-short na sa tao. Okay. Then we have group 5, independent practice, from De La Torre, Reloba, Gocotano, and Lamoste. Okay. And last but definitely not the least group is group 6, closure and assessment. That's Ma'am Villanueva, Albareto, Tejada, and Armada. Okay. So any gray area for the instruction, Ma'am Armada? May question po ba kayo?
No po, ma'am. Wala po.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so please report now to your or create now your own ang tawag niyan, pwede na kayo mag-chat pwede na kayo mag-video call, ganyan, for you to have an output. Okay, so I'll meet you again dito sa virtual forum natin after 10 minutes. See you later. So, ang hindi pa ready is group 1, 2, 3, 4. Group 4 and group 1. Tama ba ako? Group 1. Hello, ma'am and sir. Group 1, we have Sir Sobo, Ma'am Lagamayo, Ma'am Lisondra, and Ma'am Licious. Lysias. I don't know. We cannot proceed with our presentation kay dapat sunod gid siya for you to have a better understanding of what explicit teaching is all about. Maybe some of you are kanang well-versed na ani, but then for the benefit of those who are having some gray areas, much better kung ato siyang istoryahan, no? Iyan, ana. Okay, kumusta ang group 4? Ma'am Ricarse, Ma'am Ampoyo, Sir Efren, and Ma'am Blase. Are you with us? Are you still with us? Or have you joined us? Ano ba? Let's see. Pero, isa ganyan ang PWG today. I need your assistance po. They were here during the roll call earlier. Noon, may man din ako, monitoring. Pero ngayon, wala na. Or are they having their, ang tawag niyan? Video call ba? Kasi it might be that we're waiting and yet wala palang tao. Diba? But Sir Sobo is, nato siya kaganina ba? Paki-message lang daw. Any one of you has an idea kung saan si Mr. President? Ma'am and sir?
Nag-message to siya sa
Good morning,
GC
ma'am.
kanina, ma'am.
Nakita ko po si Sir Murphy po sa General Rojas Central School po. I think nag-sort siya ng module po. Hindi ako sure pero nakita ko po siya kanina early 7 a.m.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Nag-message po siya sa GC namin kanina. Poor po daw yung signal niya doon.
Saan?
Sa ano ma'am, sorting yata yun sa General Rojas.
Ah, okay. Sir Philip Pondahar, please acknowledge po. Sir Philip.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Sorter ka
ma'am.
today, sir. Sorter.
Ah, is actually schedule ako karon og ugma, ma'am, pero nako sa school karon, ma'am, ugma pa ko matong district, ma'am. Kay nag-istorya na sir Blimbot pa once a day lang daw ko kay katong nahitabo sa una tag 2 days kung uban kay 1 day ra. Oo, ma'am.
Sige, sige.
Good morning po, ma'am. Si Subo po ni ma'am.
Yes, sir. May I know your location
Ano?
po?
Yes po, ma'am. Naman ko sa printab ron, ma'am. Schedule, ma'am ba?
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
understand. I
Oh, yeah,
was
yes, ma'am.
trying to locate the president po.
Yes, ma'am.
Kasi, absent siya dito sa monitoring po. I've heard the machine running. That's why I consider your case na nasa read hub ka.
Pwede ko mag-try ato, ma'am, about
Nakain po.
sa setting the stage po. Sa
Setting the
group
stage.
1 po.
Ah,
Yes po.
yeah. Are you assigned to present po?
Okay. Yes po. No, ma'am.
Ah, so meaning, hindi kayo nag-meet ng virtually.
Wala po, ma'am. Puro, puro sila na yung mga work, ma'am ba?
Ayon sa sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. Sige. So, si Ma'am Lagamayo is saan po? Okay, sige. I'll try to check ha. Group 1, sir is at the printing hub. Then Ma'am Lagamayo from Dominga. Ma'am, may I hear your voice po?
Hello, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Sige, kay nawala man ka. Ma'am Lisandra.
Wala gid ang amo.
Okay. Ma'am Lesias of Lamanan. Are you still with us? Okay, sige, without much ado, may I hear from Sir Sobo? Sir?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you share your insight po on setting the stage?
Okay, yes po, ma'am. Um, when we do explicit instruction, ma'am, so the teacher, it is a teacher-led teaching method. So the way it works is that the teacher gives clear or guided instructions to students from the front of the classroom or a lecture hall. So the teaching strategy works best for development of particular skills and not necessarily those that require experimentation. So um, ang ato ang mga learning materials po, ma'am, is that naka-set up na po siya in front of the classroom so that uh, kay naman ko sa explicit teaching, ma'am, nga dili na ta kinahanglan og mag work og experimentation. So tanang learning materials is naka-set up na in in a classroom or any stage nga imong i-perform ang imong teaching po.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for ayun. Okay, sir. Alexis. Okay, thank you very
Yes
much,
po.
sir, for giving all your efforts to be part of our discussion po. I really appreciate it po. Ano ginang teacher ka ng multifunction ba? Ang kamot laing ginahimo, ang lalungan laing ginapaminaw, niya ang mata po na po ilahing ginahimo po. Anyway, a big clap, virtual clap for that. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you also for saving your group. So, setting the stage. As I've said earlier, we have 6 components of explicit teaching. Okay, one of it and the first component is setting the stage. Now, is it theatrical nga mag-set gitag stage kay na mo perform? Somehow synonymous to. Now, on this part of your lesson, delivery of your lesson, the setting the stage is what? It's may tabo diya sa setting the stage. So the teacher states, clarifies the standard or the learning objective. So when you do your CO, ibon siya nang i-present ang imuhang objective for your learners to know what is the objective of your lesson. No? What is your objective? What is your ang tawag niyan, concept, standards, mga yun, ana. Now, what is the purpose of that? Setting the stage. Mura bag imo i-condition ang mga bata ba nga mo na imong leksyon karon. The teacher specifically connects the lesson to the student interest. Are they interested with this? Have they experienced such skill ba na imong gusto ma-develop further? Ayun na, para magka-interest siya. In our lesson, that is somehow, and that will motivate them to be interested in the foregoing lesson that you are going to present. Okay, that is for setting the stage. Now, students are able to restate the lesson objective back to the teacher in their own words. So, sa bukid, murag lisod kayo nino, kayo naglisod man ganig basa ang bata pod. Frankly speaking, yapag yung restate. But then, pag-abot sa panahon, pag ma-develop na nato na sa ila and it becomes habitual, mahimo na nila. Okay, that is for setting the stage. Now, let's proceed to group 2. Ano yun? Explaining to the students what to do. Anong part kaya ng lesson plan on explicit teaching ito? Okay, group 2, are you ready now?
Yes, Ma'am Tet. Ma'am Tet, allow me to share my screen
So,
po.
stop. Wait. Okay.
Maday ang Maday. Wait lang, Ma'am Tet. Zoom na lang ako, Ma'am. Okay. Amin. Okay, Ma'am?
Yeah.
Si Ma'am Hanilyn mag-present po, Ma'am Tet. Ma'am Hanilyn de la Torre.
Okay, good morning once again, teachers. So we are now sharing our thoughts about the second components of explicit instruction. So the number 2 is explaining to students what to do. So in this component, so the students need to explicit details about the lesson. So here's the example of our lesson plan. The objective is to identify the subject matter is English 5, And the objective for that is to identify the figure of speech. This is for the number one. Today we are I will read this the praise. Number one, today we are going to learn about figure of speech. Number two, this is important to know because we need to deeply understand what we are reading, listening, or watching. Number three, we can use the skills when we read poems and listen to songs that uses figure of speech. Number four, we will know that we have learned this when we can already identify figure of speech such as simile and metaphor on your own. That's our idea, ma'am.
Okay, very good, ma'am. Thank you very much for that. Now, Ayogi and ang mga Shella. Okay, the group gave an example of kanang how a lesson plan looks like on component number 2, and which is explaining to students what to do. Okay, now pay attention to the screen being shared. As it says, students need explicit details about the lesson. The teacher re-explains in this component what the task is, why it is important, and adds to it how it is done. Okay. Now, based on the presented example, saan dyan yung sinasabing the teacher re-explains what the task is, why it is important, and how it is done. Or either kahit may kulang na isa, saan dyan? Anybody? Na-hit ba nila ang target sa explaining to students what to do? Para the next time around, kanang maghatag mong instruction, i-consider po to ninyo siya. Inana. Mga ma'am? Okay, anyone from group 2? Saan dyan yung what the task?
Ma'am, that is it unlocking of difficulties ba, ma'am?
No, hindi. Ano siya? Going to. Going to pa. The example presented is clear also. Dito lang, this is important because we need to deeply understand what we are reading. Ano ba? We can use this skill when we read poems and listen to songs that uses figurative language. Kumbaga, ang kanang figure, ang imuhang topic on figure of speech, imo na siyang i-present. Tama man ang inyong trabaho. Nilana, kay naman ang what is the task? Na siya dira na incorporate sa instruction. And bakit important ang lesson na yan? Ana, pinakita niyo dyan, why is it important? Because you can identify the figure of speech such as simile and metaphor on your own. That is the end part of the lesson na. So, ana dapat maghimo ka o kanang ana nga component, no? Explaining to students what to do. Okay? So, okay kaayo ang inyong example na represent. Thank you very much, Group 2.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you also for the presenter. Okay, so explaining to students what to do. You are going to tell them that what is the task is all about, why is it important, and of course you can also incorporate its necessity in real life situation. Kanang bag-o naman ta karon no na naman siya importance to real life situation. Diha dito mo angkor tanan. So, in giving or explaining to students what to do not tell the kids that it will be hard. Lisod biya kayo kung ano yung karong trabahoon or ang inyong lesson. Lisod ka ayo mag-subtract, mag-divide. Dili daw ana. That discourages kids right off the bat. Okay. Make it simple and direct enough to make the learning accessible to all students in the class. Now, remember nga ang ato ang delivery sa ato ang learning skills kay true to all. Dili kay para sa mga bright lang, kay kanya-kanya man tag mga skills na gustong i-develop sa bata. Okay. So, next. Aside from that, ang imong instruction, no, explaining to students what to do, it should be visual and orally ang instruction nga imong or ang imong explanation. 'Di ba usually naaman tay mga PowerPoint presentation, no, pag mag-lesson ta, labi na gyud kung mag-CO ta. This explicit instruction is very important and useful, especially gyud kung mag-CO ta, because kanang it is a showdown ba sa imong teaching capacity and limitation. So, in giving instruction, dili lang kay yaw-yaw storya, na gyud siya makita visual ana. Kay dili man tanan kanang kuan ang different, we have different kinds of learners. Ang uban kay visual, ana po ang ilang learning style. Okay. And of course, it will address to all different kinds of modality. Okay, so proceed tayo to the next. We have modeling for students. I do.
Hello,
We are
ma'am.
now on the yeah. We are now on the process of the modeling for students. Now remember that explicit teaching is I do, we do, and you do. So dili na ta sa I do. Marag marriage vow no I do. Okay. Calling for the group ano ganito? Group 3 na. Yes, ma'am. May I know the presenter po?
Arlene Arcanado po from Kebaton po.
Okay, ma'am. Sige.
Okay, for the modeling for student. So for explicit instruction, it begins with modeling. This step consists of the teacher demonstrating a task for students and describing exactly what is being done as it is being done. The goal of the modeling step is for the teacher to explicitly state the what, why, how, when, and where of what they are doing. So, good example po kasi ito, actually, nag-teach po ako for children with special needs for almost 10 years. So, importante po sa mga special children, yung model po talaga lahat ng ginagawa. For example, taking a bath po. Bago may tuturo ang taking a bath, kailangan alam po muna kung anong materials na gagamitin for taking a bath. And may step by step po yan, which is umaabot po yan ng 30 plus. So, anong gagawin for the first step, second step? So, ano yung basic po talaga na kailangan alam nila ano yung kailangan, bakit nila gagawin yun, paano nila gagawin yung pagligo, and then kailan nila gagawin yung pagliligo, and kung saan nila dapat gawin yung pagligo sa sarili nila. So, yan kailangan na-explain mo na mabuti, lalo sa mga bata na with special needs. So, basic po yun siya na maituro sa kanila, ma-demo mo sila step by step para makuha po nila paano nila gagawin yun. At the same time, kung regular children naman, same team lang din po yung gagawin natin. Pero syempre, lalo kapag malalaki na po, hindi na natin gagawin yun na sasamahan pa natin sila. Pero for children na ages below 5, kasama natin yan sila sa CR, at kung pwede, pag-demo sa kanila, ginagawa din natin para gayahin din po nila. So, another example po, pwede po ibigay ni Ma'am Jovi. So, Ma'am Jovi, take away.
Another example from the group 3, which is modeling to students or learners, is since nowadays we are frequently using the virtual learning, so pwede din natin turuan yung mga bata on the steps how to make Google Forms, and then i-demonstrate natin kung paano siya. So, okay lang ba if i-demonstrate? Okay, demonstration man ito na. Sige. We are going to I would like to share my screen. And so we will be demonstrating on how are we going to create a Google form like this. And then, so after natin ma-demonstrate yon, gawin yun ng pupil or the learner na yung how the procedures you are, yung procedures na ginawa mo, tapos i-follow din yun ng pupil. So, masasagot din natin ang what, how, when, and why during sa ating Google Forms making. Kasi kung bakit natin gagawin yung Google Form for attendance or for survey questions through on virtually, and also um, kung kailan when we are going to undergo learning virtually or virtually conduct an interview or an attendance form. So, yun lang po.
Okay, very good. Ang ganda ng presentation ng anong tawag niya, ng examples, no? Okay, always remember that in having the modeling for students, andyan talaga yung what, why, and how, no? For us, seasoned teacher, nga mga karaan na sa serbisyo, katong dili pa uso ng mga teki-teki, ah, nag-deal ng good me dito sa chalk and talk, no? But then I realized nga dili gid siya pwedeng walaon, no? Especially kanang mathematics bitaw. Magsulat ka sa board, sundan man na siya sa bata, and that's modeling. No, halimbawa, 1 times 2 equals. Kung istorya ramang guna nimo nga dili nimo ma-model dito sa atubangan, dili gina nila kaayo masabtan, di ba? Kay paspas kaayo kay kung puro pod technology aided ang atong presentation, good for diri sa kanang areas wherein nay access ang bata sa technology. But then dito sa bukid unsaon man na nato karon. So bisag dili ka physically kanang mga model ang figure, but then in the eyes of our children we can always be models in delivering the content. Okay, tan-awon biya jud ta sa bata, no? Kung mag-deliver na ta, magklase na ta, bisag dili ta kinagwapahan, paminaw ana sa bata, pananaw niya sa ato, gwapa na jud ta. So, let us all be careful in delivering the content, especially kaning part nga mag-model na ta sa atong lesson. It's because usahay na ay misconception sa bata. Na misconception sa iya ba? Example, kanang mag-storytelling bitaw ta. Storytelling ta, no? This is how you are going to retell a story. Example lang ni siya, ha? Karon kay dili nimo ma-internalize bitaw ang imong mga lines, kay namroblema ka sa imong mga utang. So, dili ka nimo ma-internalize. Ana day ang happy. Inana ba? So, ingat jud kaayo ta. And of course, as what Ma'am had shared, Ma'am Armada ba 'yon? Kailangan jud nga kanang isa-isahon nato siya. The what, the why, and the how. Of course, with limitation, no? With limitations also sometimes considering also the individual differences of our children, the cultural background, na mga butang nga kanang naatol sa atong guide, but then when we deliver the content now on the modeling stage, dili na to pwede siya isulti kay basi unyag ma-charge ta sa ipralo ana kay offensive siya. Ingon ana. So, the teacher makes good strategies conspicuous to kids. So, ask a lot of questions. No, mangutana ka during the modeling stage. Ask a lot of questions. Ang hats, di gina siya kalimtan. Okay? Now, of course, the appropriate instructional placing of your lesson, kailangan i-consider po na natin siya. Adequate processing time, think and time. Dili pwede nga kanang sa modeling, magdali ka, kailangan na ang sunod na teacher, nag-atong na niya, ikaw, napakadira ang level. So, dili pwede. Constant check of understanding. So, basiyon niya, ang imong delivery, howd ka ika, sa nga tanan, niya, ang imong piti-piti imong in English niya, ang imong mga learner din, nagnganga, kay wa kasabot. Insay na howd ron, ikaw, kay model ka, sila, walay nasabtan. So, be careful with that. I usually teach my math class combination, English, Tagalog, o magkagidlay na gid binisayon ta na lang jud ni. Kay what is important is ang ilang na-absorb nga learning dili kung unsa ka kahawd nga nag-deliver dinha. At the end of the day ana lang jud ang atong ihapon. Okay, now let's proceed to the next group, guided practice, the we do part. Kinsay na assign ani? Anybody or anyone who can present or share your idea for guided practice? Nanata sa we do. Asa na itong mga tao sa guided practice? Ma'am Ricarce, Ampoyo, and Blase. Nani sila? Ayo.
Good morning po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po.
Good morning.
Yes.
Sa
Any,
guided practice po, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, guided practice includes 3 steps for practicing new skills in the classroom. Then second, the student does the task with guided from the teacher. And the third, the student practices the task independently. Example po, um, the model is divided into 3 phases, and is great for when students need to learn something new. Halimbawa po sa phase 1, the teacher shows the student how to perform a certain task correctly. For example, how to draw a cat. Then, in the phase 2, the students will try to complete the task with the help and guidance of the teacher. For example, the teacher will guide the student on how to better draw the cat's ears. So, guide lang po tayo ng mga students. So, on the phase 3, the student will complete the new task independently based on what they learned in the first 2 phases. For example, the student will be able to finish his drawing by himself. So, makakadraw na yung estudyante mo by himself. So, guide lang po tayo ng mga estudyante po. So, the goal of guided practice is to help and support the student in accomplishing an independent task. So, bali, independent learning, bali, maging, tawag nito, independent task. So maging and the second phase is in particular is very important because the teacher is able to teach directly into each child's specific needs. So the teachers understand the idea of learning modalities and thus use child-specific teaching styles to in classroom. And the teachers understand yun lang po, ma'am, yung sa guided learning po.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing with us the 3 stages or phases of guided practice. Okay, so this time, tapos na tayo sa I do. Now, we have the we do. This is now the partnership of the teacher and the learner. Minsan, dito, merong pair share activity also. May bata din. Pwede rin yung grouping natin dito na natin ginagawa. Okay, so as what have been said by ma'am, there are 3 stages ng or phases ng guided practice. Now, let us all remember that explicit teaching is a scaffolding, follows the scaffolding theory. Kumbaga, hinahinayo natong tanggal ang scaffolding para maka-learn siya independently. Kaya kung permanente nang pugka nga naa din ha, dili gid siya maka-learn, dili na to ma-achieve ang independent learning sa bata. Okay. Now, during this stage, gamit kaayo ang mga graphic organizers. Are you familiar with graphic organizers? Usually, ginagamit na siya sa mga English lesson, aralpan, science, ana nga mga subjects. Okay. Gamit kayo na to na siya din ha, no, in the guided practice. But eventually, hinahinayon po nato siya og tanggal para maka-stand on her own na ang atuang learner. So you, as a teacher, you are going to provide examples, non-examples, and graphic organizers, study guides, and then always have the check for understanding through ongoing assessment and consistent feedback from your learner. Okay, now take a look or pay attention to the word ongoing assessment. Let us all be aware and be reminded that in the delivery and phrasing of our lesson, assessment comes along. It could be at the beginning of the lesson, at the middle of the lesson, and at the end of the lesson. It could be formal and informal assessment. So, pag mangutana ka sa bata, o how far, unsay nasabtan nimo assessment na siya. Dili kailangan nga magsulat jud kag 1 to 5 mo na imong assessment. No. No? It could be an informal assessment. Okay, so that is for your guided practice na as a teacher, no, kung sumpay dito sa modeling, na ang model ba nakuha sa bata. And dahan-dahan tatanggalin na natin ang model and same thing with the scaffold. Okay, so at this stage of the we do or guided practice, the students now summarizes in their own words, no? What they have learned in the lesson. Okay, now let's proceed to the next group, the independent practice. You do. This time, this is now the independent. Alone siya or pwede po na naghapon si teacher. No? Independent practice. Siya na lang magtrabaho. May call on group 5. Dito po ba kayo? Group 5? Ayo, group 5. Mga ma'am, group 5. Hello, group 5. Wala sila. Absent sila. Group 5. Ma'am Mary Joy de la Torre, Ma'am Riloba, Ma'am Gocotano, Ma'am Damuste. Sila na yung group 5. Where are you, people of the world? Okay, sinong mag-save ng group 5? Group 5? Independent practice, you do. So when we say you do, students practice the same kind of problems as during the guided practice. That is what do we refer to as parallel, no? Halimbawa, sa imong isa ka lesson, nag-guided practice ka o ingon ani ang imong presentation sa imong activity, it should be on the independent part or independent pace nga pare-pareho lang siya. So, as you can see on your modules bitaw sa atong mga SLM, ang activity ana niya parallel gina siya kay isa na siya sa mga requirements sa atuang paghimo sa module. So with the explicit teaching, parallel ang activity kay base unya og lahi imong activity ani nga part, then pag abot ito sa independent practice, lahi pod ang imong presentation, malibog ang bata kung naunsa na siya. So mao na siya for independent practice. The teacher should be moving about the room, no? Dili ni panahon nga kanang nilingkod na si teacher kay gikapoy na. So, you should be moving about the room, watching, guiding, and moving students along. So, tanaw ni mo kay independent practice naman. Of course, you cannot expect a 100% comprehension and kanabitang take sa bata sa imuhang lesson of the content. So mo na ang time nga imo siyang tabangan. Di ba? Kabalo naman jud tanog kinsay medyo na ay medyo hina o kinsay paspas. That is why you can apply differentiated instruction sa mga bata. Muna ang ato ang goal sa ato ang CO especially. Okay. Then we'll have now the closure or the assessment. Group 6.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po. You may proceed.
Okay. So we are the group 6, the closure and assessment. So we already know that the explicit teaching is a direct learning. Like the teacher shows the kids on how to start and succeed on the task. So to assess the student, the teacher used diagnostic assessment or assessment for learning. So the teachers can assess students' readiness and respond accordingly. So in the diagnostic assessment, the teacher know the weakness of the students and what areas on what subject areas to improve the students. And for the assessment for learning, we already know that it is an approach to teach and learn to create feedback to improve students' performance. So, the teacher assess students' learning throughout the lesson by monitoring the talk because it gives the students lot of opportunities to practice their skills and set feedbacks. So, like at the end of the lesson, the teacher allows the students to share their learning with talk or brief written notes uh, that summarize and review or reflect on the main learning point of the lesson. That's all, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, thank you very
Thank you
much.
po.
You have mentioned about um okay. Now, uh, when we assess the pupil's performance, of course, tama tong gingon ni ma'am nga kanang unsa nga tong himuong next nga strategy. Of course, at the end of every lesson, nagid tayo kanang tinatawag na assessment, diba? That's for us to be aware if we have performed well in the delivery of our content unsa kahawd ang ato ang pagka-present, and it will decide kung mag-remediate, mag-proceed o mag-reteach. And also it will also serve for us when we have our reflection nga kana bitaw asa dapita ang ako ang i-improve ani or asa dapita ang ako ang mura ba og bag-uhon aning approach sa ako ang pagklase nila ana. That is for the closure and assessment. And of course, sa part sa bata, mahibalaan din nato kung nasabtan ba niya o wala. And dili man nato makontrol ang mga bata no kay dili man gid sila pareha og mental capacity and performance. So, and na-mention ka ganina about feedbacking. Now, feedbacking could also be a very useful tool para ma-improve ang iyahang performance niya. Labi na gid kung magpatabang ka sa ginikanan, di ba? Ang atong lesson plan ay kuan home activity at the end. Pwede po. Nya ma'am kay ang mama magyaw-yaw naman na labi na rong modular. So isa na sa mga challenge kay ingon man gid ang DepEd nga kanabang use your initiative, di ba? Inana lang siya. Okay, so thank you very much for those who have made effort and appreciate na ko ang inyong effort birasan sa pagka mubo pa lang gid sa panahon nga akong gihatag sa inyo ha. Now I'm going to present to you. We're supposed to watch a video but then wala ko ganahi atong video man. If you have your modules with you, you can refer to the link provided in the module. I'm going to present to you the DLP template, which is also your output. Let me share my screen. Okay. So this is the explicit teaching DLP template. Mo ni siyang inyong output, which is supposed to sidly used by you during your CO. Katong mga nag 1 year na sa service, of course, naka-experience na sila how the CO is being conducted by the respective schools. Good for those who have master teachers kay ma-mentor man sila na sila mentoring and coaching, no? But for those who are assigned in small schools, pwede po benchmark na lang mo sa tawag ani mga teachers nga na ay mga mentor. Okay. So, mo ni siyang template provided. Ano na lang ninyo refer to. And by the way, ano siya? Mo lang ang parts. Subject matter, topic, material, reference, then procedure, introduction, modeling, guided practice, independent practice, assessment, and closure. Of course, you also have the reflection. So, unsa ibutang nimo dito sa reflection? Unsa imong mga best na practice ato. Imo ni siyang fill in this one after the delivery of your lesson, ang reflection. You can ask those teachers who've been on service, katong ilang mga DLL, it has a reflection in it, the end part of the lesson. Okay. I also provided an example, no, of a lesson plan in English 5, following the format that I have presented kanina. So, mo ni siya. Objective, subject matter is the subject-verb agreement, then that's the material, then the pre-lesson assessment of target skills. Siya. Okay. Ana. So, na yung introduction. Ano yung introduction? Then, the teaching, modeling, then the guided practice. Okay. Of course, if you're going to do it face-to-face, lahi pud ka. Magbutang ka og imuhang standards bitaw. Sa ganito. Kanang murag instruction ba? Remember that in making your lesson plan, kay imo maning i-demo sa imuhang sir, sa imong CO, sir or sa imong ma'am, for your classroom observation, always remember to hit the indicators in the picture of practice. Naman naman kay indicator nga i-hit dito kanang one is kanang integration across learning areas. Imo po siyang isulod. Okay? Then this is the independent practice. You do it, then post-lesson assessment of target skills. So, mauna siya ang sample sa ato ang sa tawagan sa explicit teaching a lesson plan. Okay, so are there any clarification on the presented on my presentation? Lay pangutana? Lay na ba mo nasabtan o libog mo samot? Ana. Wala na, okay na ta? Mga ma'am and sir, are you with me paghihapon or ako na lang nabilin?
Yes, ma'am. Na pa mi, ma'am.
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay, so for your output, di ba nag-present man, nag-submit man mo output mga ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have your demo teaching, di ba, kani, oh? Supposedly 1 hour. Now, kung isipon nato, it's not anymore 1 hour. Depende na lang na sa subject na imuhang i-ano. So, unsay basis sa inyong output na i-submit? Sige daw, kuan daw ta, magsabot daw ta kanang dili bugat sa inyo. Inana gani nga ma-achieve ra pud ninyo. Kinsay nagahatag og call ana? Is the facilitator or depende sa module?
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa naga-refer mi sa module, ma'am, about sa among output.
Okay, so meaning ano pud mo, maghatag pud mo aning pre-test na siya?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Kanang naa sa module po.
Okay. So,
Tapos i-submit siya sa district. Then mag-sign lang po ka dito sa among output po. Then i-return sa amo.
yeah. Okay. So, katong video nga akong giingon nga i-watch ninyo na may link dito sa tanawon ninyo to. Then, watch and learn. Yun ang i-fill out. Then, pagkahuman, kaning lesson planning nyo nga inyong i-demo sa inyong sir, inyo po na siya. Appeal po na siya. Then, kaning answer the following based on your learning experience. What are your realization? Fill in the needed information below. Mao guro na tulo, no? Ay upat di ay katong pretest. Tapos kaning watch and learn. Then your explicit teaching na lesson plan, nya, kanang answer the following. Kana lang. No?
Copy, ma'am.
Okay na mo, ana. Kung pilagi mo kabuok, ah,
27, Ma'am Ted.
27 mo kabuok. Okay. Sige. Sige daw. Any clarification daw sa diri sa lesson planning daw? Kung si target ninyo ani, since ano man, we are on the second quarter, no? Third quarter, nga ano na, nga competency mo magkuha para magamit po ninyo inana sa inyong CO. Okay lang ba mo ana? Dili bugat?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay lang mo? Ah, sige daw. CO on explicit teaching. Sige, mag-offer ko sa inyo ha before kung magpa-CO na mo, no? Ang first five nga mag-CO man jud mo no. Kanang first five nga maka-submit og kanang lesson plan akong i-mentoring na ko siya para mo swak siya dito sa CO. Pero diha po ko sa first five kay daghan biya po sila nga akong i-monitor sa among school ana pud no. So kana lang first five kato lang willing. Ang dili okay ra po diretso ninyo i-pass niya. Kato na akong kuris-kurisan. Kay naman jud ko'y makita ato inyong lesson plan. Okay lang mo ato? Inana lang.
Okay, ma'am.
Atong walay mga master teacher, pwede ra nako to i-mentoring nako ang ilang LP para mo swak siya dito sa inyong CO o sa inyong tool nga gamiton sa inyong set. Inana, ha? Magamit na ninyo sa future. Pag mabalhin mo dagkong eskwelahan, inana lang siya. Okay, so wala na ubang pangutana. Okay na ta, kay na pa si Ma'am Gina. Okay, so let me leave you with this quote. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. I would like to thank everyone for being part of this module for session 2 and thanking you for having that willingness to learn.
Ah,
Very much.
ma'am,
Yes.
mag-screenshot pa po tayo.
Okay.
Sa mga participants po, paki-on lang yung cam. Thank you.
Ito. Mm.
Asa din ni si Ricarsen? Ano sa saloy?
Okay na po. Thank you po.
Okay. Sige. Thank you.
Ay, okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for that intensive and entertaining discussion. Truly a great help for us, especially the newbie teachers. And unsa ganito atong na-learn sa discussion ni ma'am? Explicit teaching is a weapon daw nato para sa tong CO, 'di ba mga newbie teachers? Hello? Naa pa ba ta? Hello mga ma'am and sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay, abi kong nangatulog na ta. Okay. Very much, Ma'am Maria Teresa Binghay. Now let's proceed to our next topic, the 21st century teaching. Our second discussant is a graduate of a bachelor in elementary education from Holy Cross College of Kalinan, district researcher, division writer and illustrator, district assistant science coordinator, and a master teacher one of Lower Tamugan Elementary School. Please help me welcome Ma'am Ginabel W. Amora.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Tanan. Good morning, ma'am and sir.
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes. Nadunggan ko?
Yes po, ma'am. Audible po.
Okay. Sige.
Pero medyo mahina yung ano nyo, ma'am, yung volume ng ano po, audio.
Oh, ba? Why? Full na good siya. Hinayapon?
Okay na yan, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Siguro ako lang ang headset. Okay, sige. Okay, let me share my screen. Di na ba ko kabalo ani ha, pero kanang tabangi lang ko. Kaya I try. Kay di ko as in ano ani para sa inyo kahod. Sige, buhaton ako, ma'am. Ani, ma'am? Share, ma'am, no?
Share screen, ma'am.
Okay.
Sa ubos
Wait.
may icon, may arrow.
Okay, wait, mama. Yes. Okay. A window or entire?
Asa man ang imuhang presentation, ma'am? Naka-tab or nasa window?
Nasa window.
Sige, ma'am. I-choose ang window. Kita na natin mo ang option. Yeah.
Okay, sige. So, i-click na ko ini and then share.
Yes, ma'am.
Kita ba?
Yes.
Okay, sige. Thank you sa help. Okay, sige. My topic is all about the 21st century teaching. Module 4, Session 3. Okay. The desired learning outcomes. Ma'am and sir, please, ano lang ko ha? Sultiin lang ko kung di ba klaro, hindi ko madunggan. Okay?
Noted po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. For the beginning teacher indicators is you're going to prepare a developmentally sequenced teaching and learning process to meet curriculum requirements. Second is identify learning outcomes that are aligned with the learning competencies. For the proficient teacher indicators, set achievable and appropriate learning outcomes that are aligned with the learning competencies. Demonstrate knowledge in the implementation of a relevant and responsive learning program. Okay. For the objectives of this session is you're going to demonstrate an understanding on the nature of the 21st century learner. Ma'am, makita siya?
Yes, ma'am. Makita, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Next is adopt learning outcomes that are aligned with learning competencies that address the diverse of learners of the 21st century. Lastly is develop a sample detailed lesson plan on your area based on the learning outcomes and competencies that addresses the diverse learners of the 21st century. Okay, let's have the pre-test. Okay. Sa inyong pre-test is you're going to identify the key. Wait. You're going to identify the key stage of learners. If it is key kinder to grade 3, grade 4 to 6, grade 7 to 10, or grade 11 to 12. Okay. During which of the following characteristics are demonstrated? Okay. Sige, oral na lang ta. Do I need to call your name or mo recite na lang mo kung kinsay para paspas na total pre-test pa man eh. Naman, sir? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
ma'am.
Okay.
Wait.
Abi na, wala ako na lang. Okay, sige. Number one. Okay, sige. Can you answer and you read number one? Okay. Number one is nasa kong listan. Pinala kong basahon na. Okay, number one is si Sir Alexis Subo of General Ross
Yes,
Central.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes,
Good
good
morning
morning,
pala, ma'am.
sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Sige.
Enjoy long periods of free play. Grade 3, ma'am.
Okay, correct. Next, number two, Mary. Thank you, sir. Number two is Mary Beth Lagamayo of Dominga Elementary School. Ma'am? Wala? Okay, next. Proceed ta. Next is Maria Teresa Lisi, sate? Makita? Okay, Maria Teresa Lisondra of Dominga Elementary School. Wala po. Okay, next. Ano yun? Philen, Bien, Licious. Correct me if I'm kung mali ba ko nag-pronounce sa inyong name, ma'am ha, ma'am and sir. Of Laman Elementary School. Can you read and answer number two, please? Wala po. Okay, next, proceed. Ma'am Hanifa Amir of Laman Elementary School. Wala po. Wala ko, oy. Puro man ako tawag. Wala man, wala tayo signal. O, hinay lang signal. Next is Charlotte Apog of Laman Elementary School. Hello, ma'am and sir. Hello. Hello, nadunggan ko.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, si sila manan dili sila accessible.
Inay do ilang net, ma'am.
Hinay lang net. So, saan na ako naghatag ko activity? Sila manan biya ni tanan group to. Okay, sige, proceed ta. Okay, saan yung itong oras? Next is, sige, Rachel, number two.
Morning, Ma'am Gina. Number two, enjoy new materials and equipment. Under Kinder 2, Grade 3, ma'am.
Okay, next, number three, Sir Philip.
Good morning,
Yes,
ma'am.
good morning, sir.
Morning. Yeah. Can play and carry out projects that adults support. Ano sa ma'am? 4 to 6 po, ma'am.
Can play and carry out projects with
4 to
adult support. Pwede po siya sa, ano sir, K to 3 or 4 to 6. Okay, sige. Thank you. Next,
K to 3. Okay, sige.
number
Thank you,
four,
ma'am.
si Hanelin De La Torre. Ma'am?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good
Number
morning.
4. Enjoy physical activities that master specific skills. That falls on 4 to 6, ma'am.
O, pwede siya sa 4 to 6. And for the higher part, pwede siya sa ano, 7 to 10 and 11 to 12. Thank you, ma'am. Next, proceed. Okay. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is Cecilia Dora Bayanban of Pangyan Elementary School. Wala. Sige, next.
Good ma'am.
Ah, yes. Good morning, ma'am. Number 5 po.
Ano ako na-share.
Ah, okay, sige. Opo.
have a growing desire to assert individuality and independence. 4 to 6, ma'am.
Okay. Next, number 6. Number 6 is Ma'am Jolie Jane Taruha of Pupo Elementary School.
Number 6, developing strong interest, hobbies, and collection. I think it's grade 7 to 12, ma'am.
Mm-mm. So the 12, pwede pa siya kapag number 6. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Number 7. Okay, Ma'am J. Marie Diban.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, good.
Number 7, experiencing the beginning of puberty. 7 to grade 7, ma'am.
Grade
Or
7.
ano, 6. 7.
Okay. Pero na nag-start na ma'am sa grade 4 kasi ang depende na usually is 10 years old. Mag-start na. Na iba na. Earlier magdalaga is 10.
Yes,
So na iba
ma'am.
is 4 to
Okay po.
6. Then usually nanda siya sa grade 6, 7 to 10. Okay, so thank you
Okay
po.
po.
Next, number 8. Ma'am Arlene Arconado of Quebaton Elementary School. And
Um, depend on their peer group to develop identity. Higher mom, 7 to grade. Or pwedeng K to 3.
pwede po na. Nag-start yun siya ma'am is ano, K to 3, mag-start siya, then mag-develop siya usually sa 4 to 6. Okay, so thank you po.
Thank you
Next,
po.
number 9. Number 9 is Ma'am Maricar Villaruben of Quebaton Elementary School.
Good morning po, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Number 9, can plan ahead and organize tasks with little or no guidance from adults. I think is grade 4, 5, and 6.
Opo, nag-start po siya. Thank you po. Next, number 10. Number 10 is Cheryl Ricarce of Salo Elementary School. Ay, wala signal sila, no? Next, proceed. Hello,
Have
ma'am.
as
Yes, ma'am. Very good. Nagka-signal, ma'am. Number 10.
have a strong desire to assert individuality and independence.
Ma'am, excuse
Higher,
me. Number 10, ma'am. Number 10 po.
ay, beginning to think about their future life rules.
Yes, ma'am.
A higher, ano ma'am, grade 7 to 12?
But, ano man, nag-start yun siya is, kanang higher future naman is, mag-start yun is 11, grade 11 to 12. Right? Okay,
Okay.
sige. Thank you po. Next, number 11. Ma'am Lara Jane Ampuyo. Ma'am, number 11 po. Hello. Wala si ma'am. Okay, proceed. To Sir Murphy Efren Jr. of Bunapan Elementary School. Hello, sir. Wala. Next, proceed. To Matet Blase of Pangyan Elementary School. Ma'am? Pangyan? Wala. Okay, next, proceed. To Mary Joy de la Torre. Ay, sorry. Sorry. Your? Si pangalan mo, ma'am?
No,
Yes, ma'am.
number
11 po. 11 po.
Number 11, have a strong desire to assert individuality and independence. 11 to 12, ma'am.
Pero, pwede ba sila mag-start sa 4 to 6? Okay, thank you po. Okay. Thank you, Katulang. Okay, let's proceed. Another one. Okay. Identify the 21st skills that must be possessed by your learners in the key learning stage. Write your opposite Write your answer on your opposite each number. Okay. We are going to identify what are the first century skills. The 21st century skills are i-share sa nako ha. I-stop na ko siya, ma'am. Then mag-share ko lain. Tama ba? Ma'am? Or pwede lang i-share na pod ko lahi.
Naka-separate ang imuhang kuan Ma'am Gina presentation?
Yes. Pwede ra?
Yes, ma'am. Pwede
Okay,
nimo
sige.
i-minimize lang Ma'am Gina and then open ra
I-minimize
atong
ang
imuhang
slide.
next. Opo.
Okay, sige. Tabangit ko. Kaya di ko kabalo. Okay, kita?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Makita na,
Okay,
ma'am.
sige. Wait ha. Okay. Here are the 21st century skills. The first one is pwede screenshot na lang mga ma'am and sir para mamaya to identify. Kamo na lang mo identify. Pas-pas ta. The first one is critical thinking. The second one is creativity. Third is collaboration. Fourth is the cross-cultural understanding. Fifth is communication. Six is computing, ICT literacy. And seven is the career and learning self-reliance. Tama na, ma'am? Okay, let us proceed sa second na test. Ay, sorry po. Okay, okay na, ma'am. Okay, next. Mo na mga answer, ma'am, ha? Ma'am and sir. Okay, sige, let's proceed. Nakita na, ma'am and sir?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Makita na, ma'am.
Okay, sige. So, mo tayo yung answer, ma'am, ha? Okay, number one. Proceed na lang ko din sa kong tawagon, ha? Para dali na ta. Next is Marie Joy de la Torre. Wala pa ba ka tawag na ko, ma'am? Of Kanakan Elementary School. Kindly answer number one. Ma'am?
Ako na lang, ma'am.
Okay, sige, ma'am. Very good. Sige, ma'am. Number one.
Number one is critical thinking po.
Okay, thank you. Correct. Number two. Number two is Arlene Rilova of Pagan Elementary School. Ma'am? Okay, next. Ma'am Annie Rose Gukotano of Binayangan Elementary School.
Excuse me, ma'am. Si Ma'am Ani, ma'am. Wala kasulod karon, ma'am. Kay hinay daw ang signal sa inayangan po.
Okay, sige. Next. Ma'am Aryan Lamuste of Kabagbangan Elementary School.
Ma'am. Pwede makita
Yes.
ang choices po. Wala na ko nakita gaina po, ma'am.
Okay, sige.
Thank you po.
Dara, ma'am. Nakita na niyo, ma'am?
Yes po.
Okay, paki-screenshot, ma'am, para di ka magbalot-balot. Please.
The learners. I think po, critical thinking pa rin po siya, ma'am, since data
Yes.
analysis po.
Okay, correct. Sige, next. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes po, thank you.
Next, number three. The learners use, I know. Tawagan tayo mo. Number three is, wait. Number three is Amy Rose Villanueva of Tito Gop Elementary School. Tama ba ko?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. The learners uses knowledge to create products and processes. Uh, the mga learners uses computing or ICT literacy, ma'am.
The learners uses knowledge and create products and processes. Ano siya, ma'am?
Of
Pwede po
critical
siya, ma'am. And then, ano siya, nabilang siya? Sa creativity.
creativity. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Next. Number 4. Ma'am Bibet Albarico of Unapan Elementary School. Ma'am? Wala. Next, proceed. Ma'am Honey Grace Tijada.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
I think that collaboration po.
Yes. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
You are Ma'am Honey Grace Tijada, right, ma'am?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you po. Next, number 5. Maria Angelica Armada of Davao Elementary School. Ma'am? Wala. Next, back to number 1 tayo, ma'am, ha? Okay, wala na tayo. Sige, what is Sir Alexis Subo. Sir? Sir? Wala. Next. Ma'am Marybeth Lagamayo. Ma'am, number 5. Next. Maria Teresa Lisondra. Wala.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Sige, ma'am
Ako
B,
na
para
lang, ma'am.
mauman pa. Pakyawan na
Number
lang, ma'am.
5, ma'am, no?
Yes, ma'am. Number 5.
Collaboration po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, next. Number 6.
Cross-cultural, ma'am.
Yes, correct. Number 7.
Cross-cultural gihapon, ma'am.
Yes. Number 8.
Communication.
Yes, correct. Number 9. Number
Compute.
9.
ICT, ma'am.
ICT, correct. Thank you. Number 10.
ICT gihapon, ma'am.
Yes, correct. Number 11.
Career and learning, ma'am. Gina.
Yes, correct. Nalagi pa ko naman mo. Number 12.
Career and learning gihapon, ma'am. Para mauman.
Correct. Para mauman na bitaw. Okay, as pagod ako. Sige, thank you, Rachel. Okay, next. Okay. This is your assignment. Okay, identify the various learning programs in your school or district that cater to the needs of the learners in various key learning stages from K to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 10, or 11 to 12. Pero wala man tanong. So focus na sa K to 3 and 4 to 6. So what are your learning programs implemented in your school? Okay na, ma'am and sir. Can you screenshot?
Yes,
Para
ma'am.
maka...
Oo naman.
Okay, sige. Thank you po. Okay, sige. What do you make a learning stage? Can you read? Ma'am, very bien, let's rest. Ma'am? Next pa, Ma'am Hanifa Amir. Ay, mama din naman ano. Ganito ako na ko naman. Rachel, you read number 1. Key learning stage.
Ako na lang, ma.
Hindi
Be?
na, ma'am. Lamos is raising her hand, ma'am. Ang
Okay,
Lamoste
go.
po.
Wala na ako nakita ni Rachel. Sorry. Sige, isa lang mo kong gigamit, diba? Sige, ma'am, please. Can you
Okay,
read?
K learning stages. For learning stages in the Philippines, settings that include learners from kinder to grade 3, grade 4 to grade 6, junior high school learners, and the senior high school learners po.
Okay, thank you po. Next, 21st century. Okay, sige. Ako na lang para mabalik ka. Okay, 21st century. There are 7 identified skills that are essential to be mastered by the learners in the 21st century classroom, such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, cross-cultural understanding, communication, computing, and ICT literacy, and career learning self-reliance. Little lesson plan is a teacher roadmap for a lesson. It contains a detailed description of the step as teacher will take to teach a particular topic. A typical DPL is to contain the following parts: objective, content, learning, resources, procedure, remarks, and then reflections. For the responsive learning, it is the emphasis that social, emotional, and academic growth of learners in any of the key learners stage in strong and soft learning environment. So, dara na siya. What are the key concepts? Okay, number transition years for the grade K to 1, that is in the 5 to 6 years old. The physical develop number 1 is enjoy long period of great play. Developing eye-hand coordination, enjoy small group cooperation game, may require rest after high energy play. In their social emotional, they are eager to receive adult praise. O na, dali yun natin naman, wow, very good. O, dali na kayo na ko ng mga bata. Next, enjoy dramatic play. Eager to engage in the new activities and adventure lead to involve adult. Eager to identify with older children, and then they enjoy exploring new materials and people. For their cognitive level, they understand the language better than they speak. So kung pwede daw, according sa ano, kung mag-istoryahon ninyo ang mga bata, nagde-develop pa, nature sa imong istorya, dili pod pabata. Kaya kung pabata po ni pabata po lang ma-develop. Okay, next is our interest in the present vague concept of the past and future. Eager to learn, ask many questions mo na nina time. Kasi pangutana. Okay, define things by their use. Makarelate ani ang mga parents katong ni mga anak. Okay, next. They improve body coordination yet still can fall easily. In the social emotional development can be easily frightened by novel or strange event. Prefer to play in a small group. Like responsibilities they are can handle. Learning to cooperate with others but may at times display selfish behavior. In the cognitive level, they develop a sense of humor, communicate best within a small group of peers, may need guidance of adult when starting a new task. Kailangan siya i-correct habang bata pa i-correct na daan ang mga bata. Dili ka ingon i-tolerate nimo kay duoy ang bata. No. Dapat starting pa lang at their age, let them correct what is right. And then next, the middle years, grade 3 to grade 2 to 3, that is 7 to 9 years old, their physical development develop enthusiastic about the game, experiencing improvement in both gross and fine motor, possesses a high activity level, practice to mass variation of movement for physical activities, enjoy games that allow for comparison of skills, enjoy games that allow for the self-improvement. While in the social emotional development, have a strong drive towards independence, develop a strong sense of loyalty of friends, need to belong to a group, play with and are friends with same-sex peers, like to take on responsibilities, live in a world of games, rituals, and humors inhabited only by children, like to have a best friend, have a rigid sense of right and wrong, need help accepting peers who are different or left out of the group. Where in the cognitive level, like to talk, use language to express feelings, tell stories. Next is developing a sense of time, enjoy collecting things, enjoy problem solving games like treasure hunt, can play and carry out project with adult support, become more self-directed in activities, better able to understand and appreciate differences of opinions. And in the pre-adolescent years, that is grade 4 to 6, that is 10 years old to 12 years old, in their physical development, may be careless about their clothes, room, and body cleanliness. Nakitaan man nato na sa to ang mga estudyante, mga manisla. Girls may be sudden growth part and beginning signs of puberty. O na ni, curious na sila kay ngano nanay mo tubo mga pubic hair, something like that. Okay. Enjoy physical activities that master specific skills. Enjoy competitive games, possesses a high activity level. Enjoy games that allow for comparison of skills. Enjoy games that allow for self-improvement. While in the social and emotional development, they enjoy small peer-dominated group discussions. Like to join organizer group, mano nila ka ng mga curiosity. Are anxious to grow up, are intensely loyal to their peer group. Form a close one-on-one friendship, have a growing desire to assert individuality and independence, can be daring and competitive, can be critical of peers and adults, are self-conscious of their abilities. While in their cognitive level, they always ask many questions and want thoughtful answers, can often understand other points of view, developing strong interest, hobbies, and collections, engage in daydreaming, enjoy problem-solving games and puzzle, enjoy role-based games, are beginning to develop view about social and global issues, beginning to enjoy humor by telling jokes and understanding and circles. And in the early teen grade, that is grade 7 to 8, 13 to 14 years old, and their physical development may appear awkward as a result of rapid physical growth, experiencing the beginning of puberty, differ greatly in rate of maturation, need to become familiar with changing body with strong drives, tend to tire easily, have a high activity level and appetite, enjoy cooperation in games and competitive sports. While in the social emotional development, sensitive to their appearance, establishing a personal moral code, unsure of their place in society, depend on their peer group to develop identity, critical in their peer group to develop identity, critical in their parents and at home, may adopt extremes in facts, in clothing, speech, and writing and mannerism, form close to one-on-one friendship, enjoy small peer-dominated group discussion, have a strong desire to assert individuality and independence. While in the cognitive level, capable of high level of abstract thought, beginning to think about their future life role, need time and freedom to engage in the self-reflection, are able to postpone gratification, can play, can plan, and had organized tasks and little no guidance from adults, beginning to develop views about social issues. So to thrive in a digital economy, students will need digital age literacy. It is important for the educational system to make parallel changes in order to fulfill its mission in society, namely the preparation of the learners for the world beyond the classroom. Therefore, the educational system must understand and embrace the following of the 21st century's skills within the context of rigorous academics standards. So these are the seven C's in 21st century lifelong skills. Number one is critical thinking and doing. It defines thinking skills at kanang aspas ako. Okay lang.
Ilang ma'am.
Okay lang, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Defines thinking as skills thinking, creatively making decisions, solving problems, seeing things in a mind eye, knowing how to learn, and reasoning. Furthermore, sound reasoning enables students to plan, design, execute, and evaluate solution processes that are often carried out more efficiently and effectively using technological tools. Number two, creativity. The new knowledge creation, best fit design solution, artful storytelling, and so on. Today's knowledge workers are expected to adjust and adapt to changing environment, inherent in such lifelong learning, and a curiosity about the world and how it works. Curiosity fuels lifelong learners' learning as it contributes to the discovery of a new ideas and result in the introduction of a new processes that would contribute to the betterment of the way of life. Nananas lang sa stage kasagaran, ang uban, how'd kay mo kanang mo discover, how'd kay mo himo, curious kay sila sa mga things about. Okay. Iba sila magpabadlong, kay gusto sila na sila sarili na. Hindi mo sila makorek. Or nowadays, grabe ang mga teenagers. Next, number three. Collaboration as the rapid pace of today's society and communication networks have caused and enabled a shift in the level of discussion making. The complicity of today's world requires a high degree of specialization by decision makers, hence the need of teaming of specialists to accomplish complex tasks in a way that are efficient, effective, and timely. Pwede man ka mag-ask kung kinsay expert about ana, you can ask, you can tap kung kinsay hawid ana. At least, they can share kung unsa may mas okay para sa inyo ha. Okay, next. Pero na mo uban no, mamadlok, manggut ko ana niya mamo. But usually, ang mga face may kadlo ka ninyo. Kanang just try, kanang ayaw kaulaw to tap kanang kinsay kanang mga hawid ana. Next, the cross-cultural understanding. The world is rapidly becoming weird, and resulting globalization of commerce and trade has increased the need of cultural literacy. In such a global economy where everybody is concerned about interactions, partnership, and competition from around the world, there is a greater necessity for knowing, understanding, and appreciating of other cultures, including in culture formation established as norms technology society. Kanang dili lang ta mag each one of us have their own culture. Let us welcome dili ta mag kanang choice dito. Ay di ko ana kaya no. Let us respect one another. Communication. Crafting message and using media effectively in today's world, network society is the imperative that students understand how to communicate using technology. Mas hard pa kaya mo estudyante kaysa kuha. As of now. Dagan kay sila may balaan. Kay teenagers nowadays are on more in the new technology, in the technology world. Kamo, the generation. So kami, mga pa, jud usay di kami kabalo. That's why, mag-ask dyan mi sa inyo, tabangi ko ani. Kaya di ba mi kabalo, ana. Pero kung hard mo, ana, share your, talent. Kay they need to discover kung sa imong may nalang ma-expose ka. Next, number 8. Computing and ICT literacy. Tama na ba ko? Sa computing na ba ta? Na answer? Or sa communication pa ta?
Communication po, Ma'am Gina.
Sige. Sorry po. So, communication. Crafting message and using media effectively in today's work, network society and imperative that students understand and how to communicate using technology. It includes the person-to-person, email interaction, listener group interaction in the virtual learning spaces, chat room, interactive video conferencing, phone and audio interaction, and interaction through simulation and use of models. Pero mas hard pa sila. Dali na guys sila may mga PowerPoint. Dali kay sila may maghawd og sa mga video. Niya ako mga papa ko, habang ka ng mga Zoom. So, even though na makatunan ra jud tanan, dili kay ingon kamo na lang anak kay tiguan ako, dili ka bali no. Everyone is have a new learning kung gustuhon lang jud. Dili kay sigaw, dili ko kay di ko kabalo ana. Saan yung pagkabalo ko di ko mag-try. Okay, next. Computing and ICT literacy. Effective use of electronic information and knowledge and tools. Visual information literacy, choosing appropriate tools for the task and applying them to a real-world situation in a ways that add significant value, result in increased collaboration, promotion of creativity, construction, and of models preparation of a publication and other creative works. And lastly, the career and learning self-reliance. It is a managing change, lifelong learning, and a career redefinition. The interconnectedness of today's world brings with it is unprecedented complexity, interaction in such an environment requirements individual to be able to identify and react to changing conditions independently. Self-directed learners who are able to analyze new conditions as they arise, identify the new skills that will be required to deal with this condition, and independently chart as a course that responds to these changes. They must be able to take into account of contingency, anticipating changes, and understanding interindependency within the system. This is the sample. Oh, wait. This is the sample of the DLPDL monitoring evaluation form. If the teacher, so what is to evaluate are the objectives are stated in behavioral terms, are aligned in the content standards, are aligned with the performing standards. Are there smart objectives? Are they provided code, book, legend, and ICT integration. Kaya man ninyo habang mo nanamitanan. Ang kailangan natin is just always refer to the milks and ang latest para dili ta mawala. Next, learning resources. Is there listed references materials, utilized materials from the LR portal, other learning resources, IDTC pages, the LM pages. Okay. Then the procedure strategies. Link new lesson to previous learning. The purpose to lesson is clearly presented. The new concept identified. Clear organized assessment. Selected response. Constructed response. Performance. With a values and concept integration. Then the technology integration. The government trust integration and others. I wait. Okay, and then the assignment and then a reflection. Okay. According to research studies pointed out of the four method of making instruction relevant to the learners. The first one, discussing how theory can be applied in a practice. Making a link to a local cases. Kaya na may uban na musunod tanong sa itong lesson. Na masikag in English din na niya. Ang imo din mga learners na nga makasabot. So, go to their level para ang imong lesson dili masayang. Kanang kung usay lang medium instruction, mo mo ang kay para at least makasabtan ito. Pwede man lang man mo siya i-translate. Next is relating subject matters to everyone, everyday applications. Of course, kailangan na sila niya kanang in their daily life application. Fourth one is discussing and finding application in current newsworthy issues and event. I-relate lang po nimo siya. Okay. According to Wingman in 2007 recommended that students be provided with the intentional and explicit opportunities as wanted at discusses for each topic covered, why the topic is worth learning, how it operates in the real world, why it makes sense, how it connects to the things the students already know. Here are the few tips. Number 1, use suspense and keep it fresh. Sa latest. Hod kay na sila sa mga latest sa mga TikTok, mga news, whatsoever. Kaya mas ano pa sila, mas updated pa ang mga bata. Labi na kat ng mga kay sa mga technology. Isa to So drop hint about a new learning unit before you reveal what is it might be. Leave gapping pauses in your speech. All this can be activate emotional signals and keep student interest. Make each student directed rather. Give students a choice of assignment in a particular topic or ask them to design on one of their own. When students are involved in designing the lesson, write a demo young and think. They better understand the goal of the lesson and become more emotionally invested in and attached to the learning outcomes. Number 3 is connect it to their lives and what they already know. I-base nimo silang experience. Taking the time to brainstorm about what students already know and what would like to learn about in the topic. Help them to create the goal. Help teachers see the best point of their departure of the new ideas, making cross-curricular connection also help solidify those neural loops with no reference points and no intrigue. Says Willis interpreted Young and Faith, information that is fairly likely to go in one ear and straight out of the other. O, diba? Kailangan yun ka ng fair sa tanan. Wala kay gigat-gigan. Okay. Two additional ways to provide relevance and for students are with utility values and relatedness. Provide utility value. Utility value answers the question. Yeah, but what am I gonna use this for? Utility value is purely academic and emphasizes the importance that content has for the students' future goals, both short-term and long-term. For example, physics tends to be less than fascinating to your average students, but the students who wants to be an engineer of physics and interesting can be hold great utility value. Utility value provides a relevance first by picking students, telling them the content is important to their future goals, and then continues by showing or explaining how the content fits into their plans for the future. This helps students realize the content is not just interesting but also worth knowing. And lastly, build a relatedness. Relatedness, on the other hand, answer the question, what this have to do with me? It is an inherent need students have to feel close to the significant people in their lives, including teachers. Relatedness is seen by many as having non-academic and non-academic sides. The non-academic sides are related emphasis that the relationship of the instructor has been the students need to feel close to the teacher. Ya may din sila ay kay na siya man. Sometimes we need to touch kanang kailangan sila ang mga bata kana ganing or kailangan mo siya ihag, kailangan sila mapapansin sila, ana and na may iba na kung gana na niya amal dito. You don't know what is the reason behind nganong ingana yung attitude. Okay, ikaw na mo discover para makabalo ka kung ano. Students come to the value of what is likable instruction says, saying it was something worth learning because the instructor sees it something worth knowing. This is why genius interest is expressed during instruction is important. It shows students how important the content is to the instructor. Relatedness provides relevance to the students. First, by the developing the relationship between teacher and student. Relevance then helps students see that the content is worth knowing by showing how it fit into their current and future frame references. Pero kailangan na po tayo limit, no? Dili po ta magbobiyan. And then, dili jud ta mag-underestimate sa bata. Kay we don't know baya what is the future na ilang mahimo. Dili kay mi nawa jud ka ikaw naman to isa ka na ang isa ka teacher iya na giano na ay ano jud ka kanang ano ka kanang abnormal jud ka na bata. So na ano sa bata na iyang na ano niya sa iyang mind ay abnormal ba ito man. So wala na siya. Kay gilimit na iyang self na abnormal siya. Dili siya ka ano na katrabaho, dili siya taga-trabaho kay abnormal siya. Mura gilimit iyang capacity. Pero don't underestimate kay wa ta kabalo. Basig mao pa na unsa iyang mahimo. Kay di ba kasagaran mga special mga special talent po sila. And that's why mo ta di ta mo limit. Di ta mo underestimate. Okay. And now, let's have the activities and assessment. Hello, ma'am and sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Grouping ta. List the characteristics of your learner see the specific... Ay, isa-isa na lang, no? Para mas dali? Or maybe by group na lang.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yung activities and assessment po, ma'am, is intended for ano po, ma'am? Assignment po yan.
Ay, ganyan.
Bali, ano, ma'am, yung output po namin is dyan po mag-start.
Oh.
Tapos, isubmit namin doon sa district. Tapos, kunin nyo po for checking. And then, ibalik na naman po sa district po, ma'am.
Ay, ganun.
Yes po.
Kay ano mang good, I need to, i-discuss mo natin after and that. So you're going to present.
Okay po.
Sige, never mind. Let's proceed. Sige, ano na lang, sa tawag dito? Screenshot, please. The instruction of what we're going to do.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Next, proceed. So you are expected to have a detailed lesson plan in your specific area or station. Katong tanan kay ni checklist dito sa kung ato na example. Ato example sa katong evaluation form. Ma'am and sir.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, pwede po ninyo yan sa inset ninyo service, pwede mo na siya. So, expected mo maghimo mo lesson plan, ha? Okay. Okay, napad ma'am, ang ano ma'am, anang inyong buhaton, task, tara ma'am. Learning progress offered in your school, then cater to address the learner's need and remarks. Please screenshot, ma'am and sir. Kung usay na-implement ninyo, ma'am, ha? Sa inyong each station. Okay, the reflection. As a newly hired teacher, how does the session help you to become a responsive teacher to the needs of your learners? Ay, assignment ko na siya?
Yes, ma'am. Apil na siya, ma'am.
Ay, ganun. Sige, copy na lang. That is number one question. Sige, pati screenshot mo lang, sir, for your reflection. Okay, next, dara pa. Done? Amen, sir?
Done na po.
Okay.
Um,
Yes. Okay, sige. Katulang. Kanan. Okay, any questions or any topic na may gusto i-share from what you have experienced based in this 21st century? Kay, according sa study, dili lang to, mas ano ha, niingon sila na kasagaran daw ang nasa mga new generations. Not all ha, mga takulan. Pero mga talented. Kabalo siya mo diskarte, kabalo siya pero ano daw, kasagaran not ano lang daw ha, kanang study siya sa tanan mga trabahante na murag ano ba kay nakoy na ano na share sa ko ang pinsan. Ang teacher gi-assign newly hired teacher. Ang teacher gi-assign siya ang ma-assign siya ang MC sa program in that time. Nagidawat niya. Ano. But then, pag abot sa program adlaw on that day, wala ni sikot ang teacher. Okay, is that a good attitude sa newly hired or sa mga bago na teacher? Dapat dili. Kay mawala pud ang ano ba, ang nag-organize. Kung nga na naman. Dapat ahead of time, kung di mo kaya, say no. Wala may daotan kung mo dili ka, di mo kaya. Ayaw pud pag alig-alig kung di pud ka kabalo. Kailangan pud ka ng kabalo ka or kung di ka kabalo, kay gusto ka mo testing, gusto ko mo try ma'am. Then go. Mag-prepare ka as sa mga tao na kabalo. Kay para wala man dili man jud ta mahawod kundi pud ta mo try. Diba? Ma'am, answer?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Kana ba? Kanang dili lang ta mingon na, ay dili ko sa mga ano lang na, sa mga bag-o lang na. Sa mga bago pud, dawat. Dawat sila. Pero kabalo po, mga yaw-yaw. Diba? No? Mingon na sila na, ako na yun ilang pinaminti. Wala na yun sila nakitaan. Nadagan man din ha. O, na po na uban na. Sa ko na may ihatag niya, ang labong ang uban din na, ayay kaayo. Something like that. Or maybe, ay open mo sa imong ano sa imong school head. Sir, kanay nga lang ako makayanan. Para di pud siya ma-expect. Ana kay wala may kuma man siguro kung musulti pud ka. Pero ayaw pud to the point na sige lang po kag dili. Dili ko sir oy. Dagan na kay kong trabaho, dagan na kay trabaho na. Maista ka pa kung sige na kag dili. Something like that. Pero kung ato ang trabahoon, trabahoon po na to kay that is mo na magunda ang ato ang kana ganing trabaho sa dili naman na new sa tua. Nisulod ka sa at kabalo jud ka sa imong mga trabahoon. Dili kay ingon wala man ko kabalo anak, wala man ni anak. No. Di kay mingon ka na ka sa imong room. As top your ano your co-teacher. Mangutana ka unsa ang dili siya. Pag unsa dita ani? Something like that. Ana. Mangutana gid permanente. Ano man, do your part as a teacher. Dili kay mingon na dili day ko. Iber, wala ko ilabot, dili na ko buhaton. Something like that. Dili lang tayo ana atong sarili ba. Yeah, dili po tayo mo na ay close bitaw mi ni the school head. Ano, something like that. Dili po ta. Kaya you are ano man sa ato as teacher expected yun ka na kabalo tatanan. Anang maybe lang time management, time time management, find ways dili kay mo say dili magbideo sad ta no kay dili man siguro na ahatagan ka kung di ka kabalo pero kung di ka wala pili mo lisod then say no wala may kumo na mag-ingon kag no sa imong sir at least ano ka kay at least mo kaya ana ba sige katulang og daghang salamat sa tanan.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for that informative discussion. I hope that everyone has learned something and we will be guided with that learnings. And please open your camera first, my fellow mentees, for picture taking. Hello, mga ma'am and sir.
Ma'am Gina, stop sharing
Yes,
na, Ma'am Gina.
stop.
Sharing.
Okay, sige.
Dana po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay, time check. It's already 11:45 and let's take a break muna, no? And we'll be back at 1 p.m. exactly. Attendance link will be sent to our GC. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy your lunch.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.